They were gone 10 minutes longer than they should have been. That's what started it. 10 extra minutes. It was my father's birthday. We had a few people over at the house. Some cousins, a couple of his golf buddies, my wife, Maya, and me. Nothing big. Just drinks, steaks on the grill, and old Motown on the speakers. Around 8 p.m., my dad asked Maya if she could ride with him to pick up ice cream. Said they could talk. Catch up, in his words. I didn't think twice. Why would I? They'd always gotten along. Maybe a little too well sometimes, but I chalked that up to Dad being charming and Maya being warm. She's the kind of person people open up to. But when they came back, smiling, laughing, something low and private between them, it felt off. Not wrong. Just strange. Then I looked at the bag of ice cream. Wrong brand. Wrong flavor. Like it didn't matter. Like it was never really about the ice cream. That night, after everyone left, I asked Maya what they talked about. She shrugged. He was just telling old stories. You know your dad. Yeah, I did. But I also knew when someone was lying to me. The next morning, I found a receipt in the kitchen trash. They hadn't gone to the grocery store. They'd gone to a restaurant. Just the two of them. Table for two. 2 cocktails. 1 dessert. 1 check. Signed by my father. I didn't say anything. Not yet. Because I needed to know if this was a one-time thing. Or if the two people I loved most in this world were building something behind my back. The day after I found the receipt, I sat in my car for 20 minutes before work, just staring at the photo of it on my phone. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Why lie about a dinner? Why lie about something that innocent, unless it wasn't? I started watching them differently. The way Maya laughed at his jokes, not louder than usual, but longer. The way my dad looked at her when he thought I wasn't watching, not hungry, not obvious, but present. Intent. They were subtle, like people who had learned not to get caught. But I knew my father's habits better than he did. He wasn't tech-savvy. Always had me set up his apps, sync his devices. A few months back, when he forgot his email password, I helped him reset it. I still remembered the security answer, my childhood dog's name. So I tried logging into his Gmail. It worked. At first, nothing. Mostly forwarded jokes, golf confirmations, political spam. Then I clicked the archived folder. There it was. Maya.Davis@Gmail. Dozens of threads. Most were short. Coordinating meetups, sending articles, a shared Spotify playlist titled, For Us Only. But one email hit like a sledgehammer. Subject, I still feel your hand on me. My hand shook so badly I almost dropped the phone. I opened it. Last night was risky, but worth it. I still feel your hand on me. He'll never know. He doesn't see me the way you do. When we're together, I feel like I'm real again. Like I'm not someone's wife. Just yours. Next week. Same hotel? I read it 5 times. Then again, looking for some clue that it was a mistake. That it wasn't what it looked like. But it was. It was exactly what it looked like. And suddenly, I wasn't looking at a dinner receipt anymore. I was looking at the funeral of my entire life. The email mentioned a hotel. I checked the name, a boutique place near the lake. Small, discreet, the kind of hotel where people don't ask questions because they're afraid of the answers. I drove there that same night. It was a Tuesday. I told Maya I was working late. She didn't even ask what on. Just kissed my cheek and went back to her book like she hadn't burned the ground under my feet just days earlier. The woman at the front desk looked half bored, half asleep. I told her I thought I left my wallet there last week, asked if she could check recent reservations. I can't share guest info, she said. I know, I said, sliding a folded $50 across the counter. She hesitated, then sighed. "What name?" "Michael Kearns," I said. "My dad's name." She typed, then nodded slowly. "Room 409. 4 visits in the last 3 months. All midweek. Each time one guest. But I asked anyway." "Was he alone?" She didn't answer. Just gave me a tired look. The kind people give when they don't want to lie, but really don't want to tell the truth either. "You know how it is," she finally said. "No one comes here alone." I drove home in silence. Didn't cry. Didn't scream. I just sat in the car outside my house, staring at the windows, watching the light in our bedroom flicker as Maya moved behind the curtains. The woman I'd built a life with. The woman who smiled across tables at my father and told me she loved me before bed. My wife. And my father. I didn't sleep that night. I just lay beside her, watching her chest rise and fall, wondering how many times she had come home from him and crawled into my bed. And still, I hadn't told her I knew. Because I wasn't ready to hear the answer. Not yet. But I was getting close. I started recording her. Nothing high-tech, just my phone, set to voice memos, hidden in the sock drawer or tucked under the couch when we watched TV. At night, I'd lie in bed listening to her brush her teeth, wondering if her mouth still tasted like him. At first, nothing. She was careful. Measured. Like someone who knew what guilt sounded like on tape. But then one night, while she was on the phone, pacing the kitchen, I caught something. "No, I can't tonight. He's home. He's been weird lately. I think he suspects something." Silence. Then, "Yeah, but I can't risk it. Not after the lake house. You remember what happened there?" I paused the recording. The lake house? We got married at a lake house. Ours. A rental outside Asheville. Beautiful in fall. That place was sacred to me. We said our vows under a canopy of gold and orange leaves. My dad gave a speech at the reception. Called her the daughter I never had. Suddenly I couldn't breathe. I pulled out my wedding video, something I hadn't watched in over a year. I fast-forwarded to the speeches. My dad, holding a glass of champagne, standing just a little too close to Maya. "Marriage is about trust," he said. "And when you really know someone, truly, deeply know them, you don't need permission to love them. You just do." Everyone laughed. I did too. But she didn't. She looked at him. And the look she gave him was not for my father-in-law. It was for something older. Something ongoing. I rewound. Watched it again. Paused. Then I noticed it, their hands. Not touching. But close. Too close. I checked the email archives again, searching for any mentions of the lake. Found one. From a burner account. That weekend in Asheville changed everything. They hadn't started after we married. They were already happening when we said, "I do." I left at midnight. Didn't pack anything. Didn't say a word. I just grabbed my keys, wallet, and drove. I didn't know where I was going until I realized my hands were steering me to my mother's house. She still lived in the place I grew up. Same porch light. Same couch with the throw pillows she crocheted in the early 2000s. She answered the door in a robe, startled, then saw my face. She didn't ask anything. Just stepped aside and let me in. I sat down, staring at my own hands like they belonged to someone else. "I think Maya's cheating on me," I said. She sat across from me, quiet. "With—" I couldn't say it. "With Dad." My mom didn't gasp. Didn't freeze. She just blinked. Slowly. Like she'd been waiting to hear those words for years. And then she said something I wasn't ready for. "It's not the first time." I looked up. She nodded slowly. "Your father has patterns." What do you mean? She sighed. There was a woman. Before Maya. Before you were even in high school. One of his co-workers. Then, years later, one of my friends from the church group. I found emails. Then phone records. And eventually, receipts just like you. Why didn't you leave him? I almost did. But I was too tired. And too afraid. By the time I had the strength, you were already old enough to notice things. I didn't want to break your image of him. I leaned back. The air felt heavier. She reached out, held my hand. I'm sorry, Noah. I should have warned you. But how do you tell your son his father poisons people quietly? We sat in silence for a while. Then she asked, What are you going to do? I didn't answer right away, because I didn't know yet. But I knew this. They weren't going to get away with it. I didn't sleep at my mom's. Just sat in her old guest room, staring at the ceiling fan spin like the lies in my head. By morning, I had a plan. No drama. No shouting. Just precision. That afternoon, I texted Maya. Dinner tonight? Just us and Dad. I want to talk. She replied within a minute. Of course, what's wrong? I didn't answer. I cleaned the apartment like nothing was wrong. Set the table. Candles, plates, wine, the kind of dinner that screams normal, even when your gut tells you you're standing inside a burning house. Dad arrived first. Wore cologne. Called me Champ. Maya showed up 10 minutes later. Hair curled. Lipstick perfect. We sat, ate, talked small things, work, the weather, traffic. I let them relax into the lie. Let them think they were still in control. Then I stood, walked to the living room, and came back with a printed copy of the email. The one that said, I still feel your hand on me. I set it between them on the table. No words. Just paper. Dad stared at it. Face pale. Still. Maya looked once, then dropped her fork. I sat back down. I just have one question, I said. Was it worth it? Silence. Maya's lips parted, but nothing came out. My father cleared his throat. Said, Noah, let's not. Don't, I snapped. Calm, but final. Don't give me the just happened speech. I know it didn't. I know it's been happening since Asheville. Maybe before. He blinked. Maya looked at me like I'd just read her diary aloud in court. You lied to me, I said. Both of you. But what hurts most is you let me build a life around the lie. You watched me do it. Maya whispered. I didn't mean to. You meant everything. No shouting. No crying. Just 3 people, sitting in the ruins of a story only one of them thought was real. They both left that night. No arguments, no excuses. Just silence, the soft thud of the door closing behind them, and the echo of everything they didn't say. The next morning, I blocked Maya's number. Took down our wedding photos. Unfriended my dad on everything, which felt petty, but also like the smallest form of control I could reclaim. Then, on the 3rd day, my father showed up at my apartment. He didn't knock. Just stood there when I opened the door, looking tired. Old. Not like the man who stole from me, but like the man who couldn't outrun who he was anymore. I just want to explain, he said. I didn't stop him. He sat at the edge of the couch, hands clasped. I never planned it, he started. It wasn't a plot. We just connected. She's my wife, I said. My voice wasn't angry, just empty. I know, he nodded. And I hate myself for that. I looked at him. No, you don't. You only hate that I found out. His eyes flicked down. Guilt, maybe. Or shame. But too little, too late. Then he said something that knocked the wind out of me. I think she's pregnant. I stared. What? She called me last night. She took a test. Said she doesn't know whose it is. My skin went cold. He kept talking, like he couldn't help himself. She's scared. Said she didn't mean for it to happen. That she still loves you. That she didn't expect to fall for me. I stood up. If she's pregnant, I said, you two deserve each other. You could raise that baby together and tell them how you ruined a man to make it. My father didn't try to stop me when I walked out, because he knew there was nothing left to say. 2 weeks passed. I didn't see her, didn't answer her messages. I knew from mutual friends that Maya moved into a rental on the east side. Alone. Or at least, that's what I told myself. Then the message came. I need to talk. Please. It's about the baby. I ignored it. She sent another. I did a test. I'll send you the results. Just don't block me yet. 2 days later, a manila envelope arrived in the mail. No return address. Inside, lab paperwork. DNA results. I was the father. My throat closed up. There it was, in black and white, 99.99% probability. No ambiguity. No. Baby. Just fact. I stared at it for hours, wondering how something that should have meant hope could feel like a life sentence. Wondering what kind of father I'd be, and what kind of child would grow up knowing how they were conceived. She called that night. I picked up. Her voice was soft. Careful. I didn't expect this, she said. You didn't expect consequences? I snapped. No, she said quietly. I didn't expect to want to fix things. She said she wanted to co-parent, maybe even rebuild. Not for us, she said. For the child. To show them what strength looks like. Redemption. But all I could hear was her voice in that email. I feel like I'm not someone's wife. Just yours. Not mine. His. I told her I'd be in the child's life, but not hers. I said I'd provide support, show up when needed, but I wouldn't pretend. I wouldn't rewrite the story so she could sleep better at night. I'll be there, I said. But you and I are done. Forever. She cried. And I felt nothing. Because some betrayals aren't bridges to rebuild. They're graves. And sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is leave the dead buried. The end.